Okay, it's time for a new video of an old item, and I've had this particular game in my possession for a good few many years, and it's of the PlayStation 2 version of Metal Gear Solid 2. Now, you may notice something rather different about the title of this particular game, and it's called Substance. Now, we'll go into that as to why it's called that. Now, initially, the game was released in North America in 2001 and was called Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. And they were trying to keep hidden the main character that you would be end up playing in the game, because it would later be rather controversial in the person that you'll be playing. Although it did get leaked in Japan by a journalist. And funny enough, the game was released first in North America and then 2 weeks later in the Japan territories. And over here in the UK and in Europe, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty wasn't released until 2002, nearly 4 months after its release in North America and in Japan. A year later, they decided to release a special edition or an expanded edition of Metal Gear Solid 2, titled, you guessed it, Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. Again, was released in North America in 2002 and also in Japan in 2002. And once again, us in the UK and the European territories got given the shaft, so to speak, and it wasn't released over here until 2003. Now, at the time when this was released, now I never bought this game when the game was initially released. I think I may have bought it maybe like a couple of years or later after the game came out. Now, here's a quick story about how I managed to get this copy of this game. For those of you who live in the UK, you would have heard of the two stores. Even though one of them has ceased to exist now or been bought out. One store called Curry's and another store called Dixon's, which are basically part of the same company. And one day I can't remember the year because it's so long ago. I was down in Wood Green and they had a Dixon's and a Curry's in there. So obviously, for those of you who, wherever you are in the world, don't know what these stores are, they sold electrical goods like radios, TVs, VHS players, things like that. And I think, if I remember correctly, Curry's sold the same stuff as what Dixon did, but sold appliances like dishwashers and cookers and stuff like that. And Curry, obviously Dixon's now disappeared years ago. I think they just basically completely merged with Curry's, so now Dixon's is completely gone. I do miss Dixon's because that's where I used to go and play some of the Nintendo games from the NES, especially the light gun games. And they used to have the kiosk where they would have the demos of the games in there. And me and my brother, when we were kids, used to go and play them. Although one or two of the staff didn't mind, the young kids playing it, but some of them didn't like it. But anyway, Dixon's is long gone. And I was in there one day, and one hot summer like it is now, and I noticed that they were selling some PlayStation 2 games really cheap. Again, I don't remember how much they were. And when I looked, they had Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. I think it may have been £5, roughly, I would say. And they had Pro Evolution. Obviously, there's been so many of them on the PlayStation 2 as well. So I picked both these games up. Obviously, they didn't have the discs in the cases, and I was kind of worried about maybe that they didn't have the discs available, and I'll be told, "Oh, sorry, they've sold out." But luckily, I managed to pick up both games for £10, which was great. Got home, played both, tried out both of the games on my PlayStation 2, which was a silver one, which was absolutely beautiful. And then what I realized was on one of the actual discs, it was actually cracked. So I was worried about the crack would get worse, and it wouldn't be able to read the disc, and I was really worried about that. So I took the copy I had of Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance back to Curry's or Dix's, I don't remember which one it was. And then luckily they only had one more copy of the game left, and they gave me a replacement. So I was really happy about that, considering, as I said before earlier on, that there was another version which was Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and obviously this being the expanded edition of Metal Gear Solid 2 titled Substance. So I've had this to this day. Obviously, over the years, they have released a HD version later on the line of Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, which I think now is deleted, and now you can get which has been released on the PS4, Xbox, on the PlayStation, Xbox, and now Switch consoles. They've released Metal Gear Solid Volume 1, and obviously now they've obviously remastered that, and I don't know if they've improved the frame rate. I'm assuming they have. So now you can get to play Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance on your HD TV. I don't know if it's widescreen, I don't know if and then you still get all the extra goodies that you get with Substance. Although we'll get to this on a separate video. They would then release Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater with one version of it, and then later on they would release Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Substance, which I actually got that and I bought it on release, and we'll see that in a separate video. So we'll show you what you get with this particular version of the game. I do love the actual artwork of the actual game. I do remember playing this. When I tend to play the Metal Gear Solid games, with any of them, I tend to try and play them stealth. Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation 1, I never owned that, but I did play a little bit of it around my friend's house. I don't remember if he completed it, and obviously they would later remake Metal Gear Solid 1 for the GameCube, titled Metal Gear Solid 1 The Twin Snakes, which you've seen in a video that I've done showcasing that particular game. So we've got this, and I'm almost forgot that I actually had this, and it says Ultimate Collector's Edition. The documentary of Metal Gear Solid 2 unpublished bonus DVD. Now, although, as I said before, they've released over the years HD remasters of the game, and obviously recently with the Metal Gear Volume 1, and obviously with Volume 2 coming out at some point, I am definitely not going to be getting rid of these. Even though we will be playing, I would hope in the future to play the HD remaster version of it, because there's something about these collector's editions, or especially with this one, Substance, which I'm going to keep in my collection, even though the likelihood I probably will never play it again. But some things for me hold a lot of memories, and God knows how much it's worth now, but I'm definitely not going to let go of it. So I'm definitely going to keep this. It says Solid strikes back in Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, the expanded edition of Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, with all new game modes, hidden characters and storylines, top secret weapons. Technology is being mysteriously transported undercover of a oil tanker to an unknown destination, armed with a arsenal of new weapons, supplies and stealth maneuvers. It's up to Snake to infiltrate the transport and keep the deadly weapons of mass destruction from falling into enemy hands. So there you have it there. So the spoiler alert, it does give the illusion that you'll be playing the entire game as Solid Snake, but you would later find out, which is the controversy, that you play most of the game as Raiden or Raiden, depending on how you pronounce it. So there you have it. So it says here, contains, so I can read this because the writing is so small. Contains the entire Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Utilize stealth and infiltration methods such as diving somersaults, hanging from ledges, and using disguises. Powerful musical score composed by Henry Gregson Williams. And it says obviously that he did work on the movies Armageddon and The Rock, two of my favorite films. Well, two of my especially The Rock. Substance exclusives, 350 VR missions, 150 alternative missions. Play through 5 new Snake tales involving Solid Snake. Unlock new playable characters and game modes. Solid Snake skateboarding. Wow. Experience cool snakeboarding rides only on PlayStation 2. And believe it or not, I actually haven't played that. Even though I've had this for so many years, and I've played this a good few many times, but I've actually played that. It's kind of giving me the itch to actually try out those extra missions, especially the VR missions, and obviously Snake skateboarding, which is going to be quite a sight. Also including a brand new interactive DVD, the document of Metal Gear Solid 2. Explore exclusive and previously unreleased material like the original game plan. Browse through still images and 3D models for characters, mechanics, and backgrounds while you freely rotate and zoom them. Play the game music and read about the programming techniques and much, much more. So that's actually really fantastic. And the requirements on this were 1 player memory card, which were, for people who remember that, was a thing, 8 megabit for the PlayStation 2, 90 KB minimum, analog control compatibility, all buttons, vibration function compatible, and it does come with 2 discs. So, pardon me, have a swig of my water. So there we have it there. As you can see, all this opened up. I've tried to keep it in a good condition. This is what I was telling you about, that on the first copy I had, it was cracked there. I was worried about it spreading. And when I did get this, I'll try to be much more careful, because they make these things so hard when you push down. Also, the force in it can cause stress fractures on the actual disc. With some of the PlayStation cases, right, they were a lot softer, so you didn't have to worry about that happening. But with this, so what I tend to do was push it all the way down, take the disc out, but I'm going to push it back in. I would push the thing all the way down and then slowly put the disc in and then slowly release the button. Therefore, it wouldn't, damage the actual disc. This is the DVD disc with all the extra goodies in it. This is the document of Metal Gear Solid 2. And this was a great thing they used to do with the PlayStation cases, where you would have the space to put your memory card in it. So if you was taking it around a friend's house, or you was keeping a memory pack just for that particular game, you could just store it in there. I thought that was kind of a great idea. I think similar thing you could do with the GameCube cases as well, which was really great. And then you can see some stuff here. So maybe we'll take that out later on. We can have a closer look at it. So we've got the instructions here, which was obviously back in the day when they used to have instructions, and there's 30 pages there to there to get started. Everything from weapons, equipment, game over, options, dog tags, which I can collect, digital camera, mission overview, even the skateboarding stuff and the documentary. So everything's kind of labeled. The obviously tell you about the controls, the player characters, recommended difficulty settings, game screen, radar. So everything was kind of fully covered there. This is something obviously now they do in game now, and then that's obviously telling the instructions. So if you're playing the game, especially like me, if I was going to play it now, I'll be extremely rusty, so I could just put it later down next to while I'm playing it, and then obviously you know, remember the controls without pausing the game. What's really great about this, you've got full color instructions telling you how to do the moves, and the boss gauges and life gauges, so it's pretty much explaining everything. And the different settings, you've got very easy, normal, hard, extreme, and European extreme, which is very hard. There is a YouTuber called Center Strain 01. He was playing it, doing a live stream, which I know is you can go to his YouTube channel, where he was playing it on European Extreme, and he was doing the game totally stealth. And if you do totally stealth, you do it where you can't save, and there's certain criteria where you can get the highest ranking once you complete the game, and certain criteria that you have to follow. And he managed to sit there and do it. I could never do it, but I do remember playing it on normal level. That's what I tend to do, all the basic settings. You've got everything explaining you here. Obviously now in the game you can go underwater. You've got a mine detector there. Again, as I said, everything's in color, which is actually really great. Although the writing is a bit small, but obviously wearing glasses will be a little bit easier. But what's really great, as I said, the new moves like walking, diving somersaults, crawling and hanging, which were new abilities of flattening against the wall, or peeking or making a noise. It totally explains to you how to do everything, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And obviously it tells you the chapters of the game, like the tanker chapter and the plant chapter. And it obviously tells that you can choke, throw, drag. That's really great. And again, you get like a full description of the normal view, corner view, first person view, and intrusion view. So that's kind of great. And you can obviously, when you adjust the frequency, you can speak to different people of your own team, which is great. With like Campbell and Rosemary, if I remember her name correctly. You can receive calls from your codec. It tells you how to save the game, which is great. Again, it tells, and then you've got what's really great here, you've got the frequencies here. So you've got Otacons frequency, you've got the kernel's frequency there, and you've got roles, which she allows to save, and each of these have their own frequencies. So that's really great there. So if you forget, which I am constantly doing, well, what I was doing back in the day, you know how to contact certain people. And obviously this was back in the day before the internet was fully fledged. So it was unless you got like a player's guide, for example, with certain games, you wouldn't know what to do, or remembering, or doing the old-fashioned way in having to write down the frequencies. You've got the game over, where you've got the continue, exit, continue points, save and load, and you've got the save there. You've got the options where you can turn off the different types of radar. You can turn the vibration off. You can change the controls. You've even got Dolby Digital 5.1 if you've got a home cinema system, so that was really great. You could acquire dog tags, which I don't remember if I did in the actual game. And you've got the digital camera there, where you can take photographs of certain things, which is absolutely fantastic. Then you've got here the VR missions, of the sneaky mode and the weapon modes, normal blue, explosive orange. You've got here where you've got the bomb disposal mode, elimination mode, hold up mode, photograph mode, which I never did that or any extra stuff. And then you got the other Snake Tales, select stories, select 1 of 5 stories to play. Tail screen, you've got the save and you've got load there. You've got the skateboarding section, where obviously you can skateboard a snake, which you can just about see. And then again, you've got the controls, which it tells you how to control the skateboarding snake, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So that's kind of great. And you've got his website there, which I don't know is actually still active. I mean, you've got the great artwork there, and then you've got the characters. You've got all this stuff here, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And obviously, they don't do these kind of things anymore with the colour, thick instructions anymore. It's a thing of the past. I know some say it's to save paper, but you know, some games now, they put it into the game digitally now, so that's the only way. So you have to pause and go through all that, but I kind of miss those days. You've got the disc here, as I said, Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. So that's great. We can take this out without damaging it, and you've got that gorgeous thing there in the background where it says documentary, the document of Metal Gear Solid 2. So that's really great. Again, I'm going to try not to damage the disc, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that all the way down and then release, so then that doesn't damage the disc. But yeah, I've obviously now, this is obviously would have been played on as a CRTV using SCART connectors. Obviously did that now, it'd be a lot fuzzier. As I said before, you got the HD remakes, which are obviously going to make the picture quality look a lot better, the music and the frame rate. But I'm definitely not going to be getting rid of this. I'm going to cherish and keep this as part of my collection. Again, as I said before, we've taken out the thing here, and you can see this. It just looks absolutely great. You know, it's very, I don't think it's really reversible. I don't know if it really is, but it's still great nevertheless. So I'm really glad that so many years ago that I decided to go into, I don't remember if it was Curry's or Dick's, I'm thinking it's Curry's. And then something told me to go in and have a look. And then as before, they had quite a few PlayStation games in there, and I managed to pick up Substance, Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, and Pro Evolution game. I don't know which one, because also they will release them every year, like similar to what they do with the FIFA, which they don't do anymore. But yeah, I'm really proud of this, and I'll have a quick show you of this, which I'm going to do in another video, where I've got Metal Gear Solid 3. Well, I don't think he really signed it. It's printed on there. So that's the Substance for Metal Gear Solid 3, and we'll go through that in a separate video. But the difference between this is that it's actually a lot thicker. So when you compare the thickness of this, you can see it's almost nearly twice the size, which I don't know why. I'm going to have a quick look at it in a minute to see, because I think it could be 3 discs. I'm going to have a quick look, but when we did a proper video, we'll... Yeah, I was right, it's actually 3 discs, so that's why it's a lot thicker. So yeah, we'll do that in a separate video. So I hope it's just me reminiscing through memory lane with this games. And I remember playing this on my CRTV, on my 21-inch Nikon CRTV, which I've still got, and it actually looks still in brand new condition. Does need a little bit of a clean. But yeah, I remember playing this when I finally got my own PlayStation 2. And I was literally addicted to this game, because as soon as I started playing the game, I couldn't put the game down. I was just so in love with the game. And for me, that's where, my love affair with Metal Gear Solid started. Most people, as I said, it would have been the first one on PlayStation 1. Obviously, there were Metal Gear games released on the Nintendo Entertainment System, which I think I have a story about that. But I think it involves a Snake Eaters on the Substance of that. So we'll talk more about that once we do that video. But yeah, this is Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance for the PlayStation 2. Anyway, I hope people really enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave this video a like. I would and share with your friends and family. I would highly appreciate that. Leaving a like in the video will allow new people to find my channel and content. This is because of the YouTube algorithms favour the bigger YouTubers. So this will allow new people to find my channel. So the YouTube algorithms showcase the bigger YouTubers on the YouTube recommendation page. So with me being small fry, it will allow me to find new people to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you already haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you want to see videos like this where I'm showing you my old games collection, I do obviously unboxes of new games and some classic games. video game playthroughs, Blu-ray unboxings, DVD unboxings, steelbooks unboxings, and some I've been showcasing some of my Blu-ray steelbook collection. The last one I did was, I think, was X-Men The Last Stand, and I've got a few more to go, and even a new one that I need to film. So if you love stuff like that, and even comic book related stuff, especially with the Superman and Deadpool and Wolverine coming out in the next few weeks, if you're into your comics and graphic novels and stuff like that, then please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Just before Christmas, we hit 500 subs. A month or two ago, we hit 600. Already now, we're already halfway to 700 subs. So a big thank you to all the subs, old and new. I really appreciate all of you for getting me where I am today. I mean, I didn't especially start off with 13 subs originally. So a big thank you to all of you, because without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today. So thank you to all of you, and I really appreciate the faith that you have in me and subscribing to my YouTube channel and the views. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I also live stream on Twitch. I'm trying to do stuff in there more regularly, but sometimes due to stuff going on in real life and health problems, I can't always give a set day and time when I'm going to do it. So I will leave the description of where to find me on Twitch. So I tend to do a lot of Xbox, because obviously with the consoles I stream from them, and Xbox unfortunately doesn't allow you to record like long footage, only less than 30 seconds. So I stream on Twitch with Xbox, and then normally I archive it, and then so if you miss it live, you can still watch it archived. And if there's no music copyright stuff, then I tend to export it to YouTube. So either way, you kind of don't miss out. So consider follow me on Twitch. I also, on a rare occasion, live stream on YouTube, but it's very rare. But it will be mostly more casual gaming, like obviously like driving games or beat 'em ups, nothing serious in there. So again, you might want to hit the notification bell on the rare occasion that I might live stream on YouTube. You never know when that might be. So again, do that. And it just leaves me to say, wherever in the world, please stay safe. The next video in the series for the Metal Gear will be Metal Gear Solid 3 Substance. So keep an eye on that for that when that does finally, when I do get around to filming it. And I'll speak to you again in my next video. Bye for now.